Goofy Historians is the funnest place to learn about history. Or is it the funniest? Can I interview you? Or you? Or you? Or you? Or maybe you guys? How about you?
So talking about the Canterbury Tales, it's been a long time. We read it in my early English lit class in high school, so it's been a while, but I kind of remember it. There's this group of pilgrims and they get together in a tavern in Southwark, London, and they all get drunk. And they're going down to Canterbury, where they're going to fight the terrible monster Grendel. That's it. Grendel's this horrible monster. He's been eating all the soldiers. So they're going to go down there and do battle with him. And what else? Along the way, one of the pilgrims, her name is Antigone, I think. She dies, and she gets summoned by God to do a reckoning of her life. So let's see. She contacts all these people she knows. She contacts fellowship and kindred and cousin, and riches and beauty, and it's her boyfriend Lysander. And she's like, "Hey guys, will you go to the grave with me?" And they're like, yeah, of course, Antigone, no problem. We're there for you. And so they go to the grave, and it's this big hole in the ground, and they're like, "No, man, we're not getting in that." So they all take off except good deeds. I should have put a spoiler alert on this. The good deeds stay with her, so her good deeds go with her to her grave. I'm not sure why it's called Canterbury Tales. Okay, I just checked and I had some of that wrong. The Canterbury Tales is by Geoffrey Chaucer, and it is about a group of pilgrims, but they're actually going down to Canterbury on a pilgrimage. And I don't know how long that is from London, 100 miles, let's say. They're on horseback, it's hot, it's gonna take them a while. They're gonna wanna see the sights. They wanna see the largest ball of twine, which at the time was just this big, but it was still the largest. They're gonna wanna see Rock City. They're gonna wanna eat. So it's gonna be 3 or 4 days. And so they don't die of boredom and fall off their horses. They decide to tell stories. And Chaucer's there, he's one of them, but he's apparently undercover because he never reveals his name, and they don't know that he's the great Geoffrey Chaucer. Because if you have Geoffrey Chaucer in your storytelling group, you would probably let him go first, and maybe only. And in fact, the 2 times he does try to say something, they both shut him down because his stories are so boring. But anyway, one of the stories that I really like a lot is The Friar's Tale. And it's about a summoner who's this person who goes around and delivers court summonses through the countryside to different people. And the summoner's actually, in this story, he's corrupt. He makes up a lot of charges against people. So when he's delivering his summonses, he will go to innocent people and charge them with something that is completely made up. But then he'll say, well, if you give me some money, or if you buy me lunch, then I'll take care of it and I'll make sure the charges are dropped. So that's what he does, and he tricks innocent people into giving him money. So to make a short story even shorter, he's out riding in the woods one day and he meets this other person on horseback who's doing something similar. And turns out the other guy admits after a bit that he's actually a devil. He's not the devil, but he's a devil. And he's out looking for souls. And so the summoner figures well, we're sort of doing the same thing, so why don't we join up together? And he's very excited. He wants to be an apprentice almost to the devil, and he wants to learn all the tricks of the trade and all that. So they go into a village, and they see this man with a cart stuck in the mud, and he's cursing the cart and he's cursing the mules, And so the summoner says, hey, there you go, there's a soul you can take. He's like cursing all of, his existence right now. and the demon says, well, no, he's not serious. He's saying that, but it's not in his mind. He doesn't really believe that. And so we're just going to leave him alone. Apparently, you have to really mean it. You can't just say it. So then the summoner takes them to the house of this old woman who's very destitute and poor. And he says, look, there are charges against you. You got to show up tomorrow. And she's like, what? I don't know what's going on. I'm innocent. And the summoner says, well, if you give me whatever it is, 12 shillings or something, I'll take care of this and make it go away. And she's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. The devil take you if you're lying. And she said it and she meant it. So the demon who's right there snatches the summoner away down into hell. So it's a really creepy story. I love it. It's my favorite one probably of all of them. And I do hope maybe to see it as a horror movie someday. It'd make a great plot.
Goofy Historians is the funnest place to learn about history. Or is it the funniest? Does history repeat itself? Not really. But sometimes it kind of rhymes.